Yo, what's going on, y'all? This Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. Let's talk about Artur Beterbiev real quick. Last Saturday, he was able to score a solid, pretty exciting fourth round knockout over Calllum Johnson. It was a good back and forth fight. Calllum Johnson, he gave Beterbiev quite a scare, in the second round too. And it was definitely a fight that I feel like Calllum Johnson definitely kind of showed some, I won't say shows too many holes in Beterbiev's game, but Beterbiev, all I can say is that I feel like he definitely needs to stay active. I feel like he needs to stay more active. I know it's said that it's hard for him to get fights, but I'm just feeling like at 175, there's a lot of guys out there, B's and C level guys he can get in there with in between these long layoffs. Because if you look at his record, man, you got to remember he hasn't fought since November 2017, and that was his only fight in 2017. And before that, he was on maybe like another 11-month layoff before that. He fought in December 2016, so there's like these 11 10-month layoffs, and then he's getting in there with somebody, another fellow undefeated fighter. So that's more risk for him, especially at 33 and 12-0. He's really putting himself at risk, without trying to stay busy in between. But I say that because, there has to be somebody out there he can fight just to kind of stay busy, even C-level guys he can, fight on a non-televised card or, overseas card just to stay busy and stay active, because I feel like this long layoff, again, that contributed to the knockdown. And let's look at the fight, because looking at the fight, I definitely feel like he showed some ring rust in there, and he definitely showed some spotty defense. From round one, I have to give Calllum Johnson credit, because he really came to fight. He just got a little too punch happy, but he definitely came to fight Beterbiev. And looking at round one, Johnson, he was finding a home for his overhand right. He was tagging him with the overhand right, and I could see it was getting a reaction out of Beterbiev. Beterbiev was kind of keeping his hands up but away from his chin, so he was timing Beterbiev, and Johnson was, every time Johnson would time Beterbiev, he could come over the top with the right hand, and he was putting a lot of pressure on Beterbiev, but Beterbiev, he was able to, kind of fend him off with his power. And I feel like that's what was saving him a lot of the time, his power and his physical strength, because every time Calllum Smith was trying to turn it into a brawl, he could clinch him and move him out of the way. But end of the round, Beterbiev caught him with a good solid hard right hand to drop Calllum Johnson. But like I said, Calllum Johnson, he was game. He got back up and finished the round. And then round two, that's when the scare came, because like I said, he was finding a home for that overhand right, and Beterbiev, I think he was kind of expecting that. So whenever Beterbiev was backed into the ropes again, he tried to exchange left hooks with Calllum Johnson. Calllum Johnson caught him on point. He caught him and dropped him, and Beterbiev looked like he was really hurt. He looked like he was hurt when he got up, man. It looked like one of them, moments when you're getting up in the morning for school, when you bounce up and you kind of wobbly, you kind of disoriented. But he was able to finish the round. He was just kind of trying to survive the round, and it looked like he kind of took the third round off too. But I think that's where Calllum Smith was, kind of getting his best work in. He was trying to really keep the pressure on him, but like I said, Beterbiev's power was still too much for him, because by round four, I think the harder shots from Beterbiev was still hurting him, but Calllum Smith was just trying to show that heart, that he could fight. And sometimes that heart can get in your way if you don't use your brain, because I feel that Calllum Smith definitely had the gut. I definitely feel he had the guns, he had the goods too, he had the tools too to beat somebody like Beterbiev, if he would have, maybe, turned it into more of a thinking fight. But he wanted to keep it into a punching fight, so when he tried to back Beterbiev into the rope in the fourth round, he got caught with a good right hand, and he just slid down Beterbiev. And when he slid down, man, it was over. Referee could just count him out. But yeah, man, overall performance from both guys, I definitely have to say it was a good, slugging match. Good heart from Calllum Johnson. I think, like I said, if he would have boxed him more at a distance and countered him more at a distance, I think he would have been able to survive rounds and gave Beterbiev more trouble, because like I said, Beterbiev, he seemed a little bit rusty to me in this fight. His power was what really carried him, but I think he was a little rusty, man. And I say that because usually he's the guy that's backing other guys up with his power. He's usually putting the pressure on him. He makes his presence known early. He's boxing coming forward, and hitting you with hard shots. But this time he was kind of on the back foot, even in the 3rd or 4th round. Because like I said, in the 3rd round, he was still looked a little foggy. But that's why I say, man, Beterbiev, he needs more rounds. He needs more fights. You know, fights, they're still different than training and sparring. You know, you have to be in there working. You know, you have to be in there in real fights to really work on your holes in your game, you know, to test yourself against different styles, different looks. You know, you got to keep the rust off you. Being under the pressure, you know, the lights and then the rain, you know, that's going to be something to help work on your mental, because you got to remember, having a real opponent in front of you who's not going to take it easy on you, that's a whole different thing than a sparring match. You know, sparring, you're just working on some things. You know, it's just like your homework. You're working on little exercises. But, you know, the real opponent, whether it's a B or C level opponent, you know, that's the exam. You know, that's the exam. That's the test that you're taking. So having that real opponent that's going to hurt you, that's a different mind frame. So Beterbiev, he needs more of that, you know, because you got to remember, he's 33 with 12 professional fights. So at 33, it only gets harder from here, man. Your time is going to be harder to work with. Your, you know, Father Time, you know, he takes your legs away, man. Father Time is undefeated, man. And you got to remember, you know, it could just be one fight, you know, you could lose you know, you could lose time and just like that. And that could cost you a fight. So I just feel like he has to stay busy. You know, he has to fight more than once a year. He can't fight in between these long 10, 11-month gaps like this. So I just have to say, you know, his time is now, man. He has to stay consistent, get the big fights, and hopefully on DAZN, you know, hopefully being on DAZN, it can put him in the ring on a steady fight schedule now. But let me know what you guys think of Artur Beterbiev. You know, is it that hard for him to really get fights? You know, what do you think? Who do you want to see him in there with next? Did you think he was being exposed a little bit by Calllum Johnson, or is it just the inactivity? Let me know all of that, guys. Let me know what you think. But make sure y'all subscribe. I'll be back with another video. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.